Hey guys, what's up? It's Elon Brio back with another video. Today we're going to do a behind the beats. We got a special guest, your boy PAX. Stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe and like the video and comment. Hope you guys like it and look forward to hearing what you got to say. Peace. Yo, what up? It's your boy Elon Brio back with another interview today, Behind the Beat, episode 4. And we got a talented, dope producer by the name of your boy PAX out of Florida.
What's up?
Say what's up.
What's up? It's your boy PAX from Orlando, Florida. Happy to be on the fucking program with Elon Brio. Happy to be on YouTube.
No doubt.
You know what I mean?
No doubt, man.
Connecting during a time of crisis.
Man, for sure. So what you been up to, man? Tell us about what's been going on with you, like during this quarantine.
Well, I'm unemployed like everybody else because before I was working at a bar and venue, running the sound and doing bartending and stuff like that. So that's wiped out. I don't know when we're going to be able to open again. So I'm out of the job and I've just been right here every day doing shit, making music. You know what I mean? And I got a little thing on the board that says in the works, and right now there's 8 things on it.
Man,
so that's
you busy. So you
got
busy.
A collab. We got one with Bundo, who was just on.
Nice.
He's great. With YG Hypnos.
Oh,
with
yeah.
Plurable. With That T Plus. He's another one. Some stuff with Chill Select. I just finished a sample challenge.
Nice.
You know what I mean?
That's dope, man. Yeah, speaking of them, I just set out the Chill Select. I just finished the sample challenge too. They got a beat battle going on, so you guys interested in that, check it out. It's like a 2-for-1 beat battle. Are you doing that?
Oh yeah, I'm doing both of them.
That's pretty cool. Me too. I just finished both my beats too, this week. So
right, today I just finished.
That's what's up. So tell us a little bit more. So you work in the bar industry or like in the engineering industry? So you're a sound engineer by trade, or?
Yeah, a little of both. I mean, I bartend at my job because I'm there all the time, full time. I end up doing that more, and I come from like the service industry, like restaurants and shit like that. But I also come from this, so like what I do there is also run the sound for DJs, setting up DJs, setting up like live performances, like synths and drum machines and shit, and then running the sound for bands, to a lesser extent now, just because we don't have,
Right. But that's dope, man, that you have that experience, that you have that knowledge. So tying it into this interview, like, let's get into some questions. And the first thing we want to ask you is to define your sound. Are you like a sample-based producer? Do you do like, what kind of music do you actually make, or what do you consider yourself?
I try to be in between lo-fi hip-hop and something else. You know what I mean? Because I've talked about this with Logan Baker, who's Whoosh. And I've talked about this with people that have been so popular in like 2016 and 17 in lo-fi hip-hop. I'm like, why would I want to try to do something that you pretty much already did 3 years ago? You know what I mean?
Right.
To where like my sound is kind of like sticking with the shit that I like grew up on and love, and that we all, feel, but trying to do something else with it. And that's why I stray away from samples more now and get into synthesis and texture and sound design and things like that. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
like
man.
tape and ambient noise.
Man, that is so dope, dude. I love ambient noise. Like me, myself, I've come from that trade of the Dillas, the Dre's,
Right.
the Wu-Tangs, but as an artist, I've grown, and I always think about Andre 3000, like when he started with Outkast, he was just like Andre, and then he had like a metamorphosis, and that's how I think of it. Like he started singing, he started playing instruments, CeeLo
Right,
Green.
you gotta go somewhere.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? You gotta.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta develop. So I totally appreciate what you're saying. I think that's dope, man. We love that. We love to hear that. So like, speaking of like your production style, tell us like, what do you like to produce on? Are you a hard synths? Tell us a little bit about that.
So I got Ableton is pretty much Ableton and the SP are like the two brains. You know what I mean? Like they communicate with each other. And I got this little modular effects unit, the Coma Field Kit effects. I've been running everything through here and doing like experimentation with this. And then since I got the mini log right here, I got the Volca FM. There's a Volca modular. I used to have a what's it called? The one that everyone has, a microcord. That was my favorite for a while.
Did you have that thing figured out, man? Like I bought one and tried to program it, dude. That was beyond my expertise. So kudos to you to be able to make new patches, like sound design. That's awesome.
It's like I could, but it's not inspiring like this. You turn knobs. And you experiment. But with that shit, you had to dive through menus and assign. You're right. It was ridiculous just to try to program anything.
Yeah, and I mean, just turning that thing on, it had a couple of presets that I could probably use, but after I used it for about a week, dude, I ain't gonna lie, I took it back. I was like, this is not me, But,
that's what I am more.
But the Volcas, man, those are great, like knob turning. So tell us, give us a little background on your influence on synthesis, since you had some synthesis and you like that. Who do you like look up to as far as your influence in that? And then you can tell us about a few of your influences in regular hip hop as well, or lo-fi.
Right. Well, I mean, with synthesis, I mean, I've always been a fan of I've always been a Flume fan. You know what I mean? Like I love like not necessarily future bass as a whole, but like people that did some pretty crazy stuff like with like granular synthesis and things like that. And I realized at some point like Flying Lotus is like it for me. You know what I mean?
He's amazing, isn't he? He's amazing.
Right. And Flying Lotus and I started to realize like a lot of the stuff that I was hearing that I was like, and Jay Dilla too. I mean, like these guys had synthesizers; they weren't just sample based. You know what I mean?
Of course.
Like they were doing their own shit, and that's why earlier on I was like, I gotta figure some stuff out, and then I just fell in love with it. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. So
I'm
sorry.
I mean, I just I didn't really have anything else to say besides like it turned into a love for synthesis that was different from making music. Like sometimes I'll just dick around in like VCV Rack, which is like a modular emulation, and just make something not even to release. Just I like that. It feels good.
That's dope. And you know what? That's what this is all about, right? I mean, this interview, this whole community that we're a part of, people get it confused, like sometimes maybe if you have a lot of players or a big following, people think like you're like they have that superstar mentality, but I don't like that. And I love it when artists like yourself and myself and other people not that are just good people who just want to make music and have a community, like we try to do at Chill Tapes, like we try to do at Chill Select, all the other places that we associate with. And that's the beautiful
I don't
part.
know anybody with a superstar mentality in lo-fi hip hop. You know what I mean? I could be wrong. I might just not met him yet.
Yeah, me neither. Like, I mean, to be honest with you, I haven't met any. Like we did a little thing with Stolen Drums about a week ago, and he was just the coolest dude. Yeah, you be thinking like this dude is the man. Like DiBiase, like I've chatted with these dudes. They're just good people, and that's what we try to do here. We all good people. And man, let's just keep it going. Let's talk about all right, you talked about Ableton, which is dope. I've really got into Ableton of late. Dude, it really is pretty dope. I just got Sweet today. I haven't downloaded it yet, so because it's on sale. You guys, make sure if you watch this interview.
10?
Ableton Live 10 is like 75% off right now for the Sweet. So
holy shit.
Yeah, make sure you get that if you can. I ain't getting paid for that, but that's just looking out for you guys. Also, make sure you be aware of all those free plugins. All right, so. You told us about your weapons of mass destruction, like Bundo like to say. Can you tell us more of like what do you plan on doing next? You say you got the 8 projects in waiting. Tell us about maybe some future collabs or something you can let out secret. We know we don't want you to let everything out, but something you can share with us before your boy PAX get to work. Tell us about that.
Right. Well, I got the things that I got in the works right now. A lot of it is purely for the sake of like I know people are home right now. I know people aren't doing shit. So I've been reaching out to people not really with an idea behind it, but just because I want to work with them. You know what I mean? Or just because I said, does anyone want a drum loop or tape loop? I was making a bunch of tape loops and just being like, anybody want them? But I'm thinking where the future is for your boy Pax is trying to pave a little path in the direction of like in between ambient music and lo-fi hip hop.
Nice, a nice little
You know what I
mix.
mean?
Yeah, yeah, oh
Having
yeah.
an emphasis on texture, because it seems like something that, for some reason, which I have no idea,
Hmm.
ambient music is becoming really popular right now.
Yeah, I mean, lo-fi sound is changing. I mean, like, I
Yeah, it
posted a beat
is.
and a couple of guys was like, "Yeah, that's the old school sound." Like a couple of weeks ago, I was like, "Old school sound." It's like, "Yeah,
Oh yeah, right.
this is new lo-fi." I was like, "Oh man, I gotta catch up." And it's more like jazzy, ambient, easy
Mm,
listening. So I guess you would call it chill hop, which I'm a
yeah.
fan of. But then, some of it I like it, some of it I don't. Just try to find me, and I'm sure you're doing the same.
Well, yeah, and I try not to be like what is lo-fi hip hop, what is chill hop,
Right? You
what
can't
is
label it.
boom bap. Yeah,
You can't. You
but
can't.
it's like I realized I've started to notice with myself, like when I have like,
Hmm.
you know what I mean, just like a hi-hat,
Hmm.
I'm starting to be like, this needs to go somewhere. Like I need a delay on this. I need a granular effect to it. Like
Right.
I
Right.
need it to be more of a texture
I got it.
than just a.
Just something simple,
So
like yeah, because and then the challenge is keeping it simple. So that's what I'm finding, like
right,
keeping it simple. All right,
yeah.
speaking of that little tip, can you tell us something that you would like to pass on to like a younger producer or up and coming producer, or any kind of tips that you might want to share? It could be like, hey, EQ your stuff, whatever you want to share,
Right.
some kind of knowledge, And then I got another question about that. So, with a up and coming.
Just destroy your sounds. That's what I like. Like I see like sample challenges and things like that. It's like if you gave me a really, we just did two sample challenges. We both did,
Mm-hmm.
right? So one of them, the the sample
Mm-hmm.
was like a tiny little wave that was like 5 seconds, or at least mine was.
Mm-hmm.
And then the bigger one were two fully formed songs that we had to sample.
Mm-hmm.
And what I found was like it was so much harder with the fully formed songs that were great, fully choppable jams. Like
Mm-hmm.
they were good songs to chop.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to like destroy that song in order to find something. You know what I mean? I half timed it, then chopped it, and
Mm-hmm.
then you know what I mean?
Okay.
So like you can find creativity through destruction is really
Okay.
my
And you're saying like you don't need like a whole bunch. Just take and be creative. Is that what you're saying to the?
well, a whole bunch can be too much.
Okay.
You know what
Got
I
you.
mean?
Got you.
Like
Got you.
it's like a creative limitation thing.
Okay.
Like you can get overwhelmed, and in a place like Ableton,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean, can be less inspiring than the SP404
Mm-hmm.
because in Ableton you can do anything.
Yeah, you can. Dude, it's so hard, but it's definitely a lot of potential to do anything. So I really
Right.
appreciate that, man, because you're saying like to our listeners and our viewers, take stuff and break it down, destroy it. So are you a guy? Are you a loop guy? Or are you a chop it up guy? Like if you got a sample, would you rather chop it or you rather loop it? Like say for example, Madlib is like he's the loop digger,
He's a
and then,
loop. Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
exactly.
Jay Dill is like I'm chopping it up and making something new. What are you?
I've always been more on the side of chopping just because
Mm-hmm.
I I can't like take a Bill Evans loop,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Loop it and then put drums on it and then call it me and not call it Bill Evans.
Good point. Good point.
You know what I mean?
I'm from that school too, where you chop it up. I get it, but I mean, if you're gonna loop dig, you got to find something that's never been
Right.
heard before by hip hop. You get what I'm
Well,
saying?
that's why they were so good at it. That's why Madlib and
Yeah, facts.
because they would loop up shit. They wouldn't loop up jazz.
Right.
You know what I mean? They'd loop up, or they would, but it would be like Gore-Tex or something like that.
Yeah,
You know what I
something we
mean?
never heard of, like before.
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
like Sun Ra before we knew who he was. That was like space music.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Before the orchestra. You
exactly.
know.
All right, so can you? All right, now down to a few of our questions. Okay, if you had if you were on a not say I if you were in a you had to go to Wyoming. I'll try to change it up. I don't say island. Island was last time. If you're in a ranch, we're doing the Kanye. Like if you went to
Yeah.
Wyoming,
Yeah.
Laramie, and you're on a ranch and you only had three things to take and make music, or say you had a full studio, we'll give you that. But say you had three machines or whatever to make music with, what would it be and why?
For sure, the SP404.
Okay.
It was like the first thing I ever bought. I think my grandma bought it for me when I was like 17. It was before it got huge and everybody had one.
Nice.
I mean, not really, because it's been around for years. So the SP404 is like the biggest thing for me. A good synth. You know what I mean? Like one good synth and then Ableton. Okay. That's it.
And when you, I'm sorry. And with that synth, you're trying to. What do you want to do with your synth? That's what tell us why with the synth. That's a good answer. I've never heard that one yet. So tell us why on that. That's pretty good. I like that.
Well, it's you can do a lot with like this. The mini log is like a simple subtractive synth, but you can do a lot more with it than just. You know what I mean? You can do anything from, this has polyphony, so you can do chords.
Wow.
It has mono, sub oscillators, so you can make, some really fat basses. And then you can also do things like put the noise all the way up and then use the filter and ping the filter with the noise.
Wow.
And make like a soundscape with it that's sort of atonal. I mean, it has a tone to it, but it's not locked to the keyboard.
Oh, wow. Can you run that like as a MIDI with your Ableton as well?
Yeah, and you can clock the SP404 with it.
Of course. Which
is what I did in a couple videos. Like, use the sequencer to clock this, and also clock the modular the field kit, and also sync up to the Volca. So I could just press a button on this bitch, and everything starts going.
Wow. See, that's amazing. That's something I didn't even know about. Definitely need to get into the synth game. That sounds like a video either for you or something maybe I should try to make for our viewers and just give them a sample, but definitely pretty dope.
Yeah.
So before we get into you playing a preview of some music or something we haven't heard yet, can you just tell us something about you that inspires the music? What makes you do music?
I try to. I mean, I actually talked about this with a friend of mine the other day. That was like, or like a mutual friend that was like, I want to start making music, and he was like, what do I get? And of course, the first it's like, well, get a DAW, get a MIDI keyboard, like an MPK or something, just to, start experimenting with things. And he was like, yeah, like how'd you get so much stuff and like so deep into it? And what I realized was like I thought of myself sort of like as the type of person that makes music every day, and then started doing it, and then it grew momentum from there. But it's like you gotta sort of change who you think of yourself as to the type of person that you want to be. And as far as like music and things like that, it's like oh, I'm great. I sit down every day and I make music, and even if with no outcomes attached to that, like even if nothing works out, even if nobody cares, I'm still great. I'm still gonna sit down every day and do this. And that's why I do music every day in some form. I do something every day.
That's dope, man. So basically music is a part of your life. Your motivation is not per se money or to try to be famous or obviously, to get plays. It's you make music for you first, and then we get to see the PAX that comes out of it. I think that's dope, man, because if you make music for you and you make the music that naturally comes to what you feel and the emotions that tie to it, then us as fans, we're going to gravitate to the stuff we like, even though I will give you a tip. I say this, the stuff you think is the dopest, your fans won't like, but the stuff that you don't know they'll like. But
that's true.
But the most important thing is I appreciate it, and I thank you for saying that. And I say to the viewers, make the music, let your emotions come out, and then just put it out and let the fans decide. But that's so dope, man. We really appreciate that. That's fire, man. That's
fire.
Man, so before we get out of here, my goal is always try to keep the interviews under 20 minutes.
That's great.
Any shout outs or anything you want to send in after you do that, after you play a beat for us? So your boy PAX is about to get down, play a little something, and then send a shout out, and we out of here, fam.
Yeah. So shout out Chill Tapes always. Go stream the O-Town Kid. Shout out Free Rice. Volume 2's coming out, 420 in a couple
for
days
sure.
next week.
That's tight,
Volume
man. I
2.
wish I could get on that, man. I'm mad about that. No, I'm
You
just
should
kidding.
be on it. I don't know why you're not on it.
Because
It's because
it's
you're not from
Florida.
Orlando.
It's
Free rice is a different thing. It's
I
not
get
the
it.
ch-
I get it.
You know what I mean?
I get it. I ain't mad.
But you could totally be on. I think we love that. Couch Loaf Records.
Yes.
Family Volume 3. Dr. Guava.
Dope.
Me and Bundo have a track on that. That's coming out soon.
Dope.
The beat tape with Chill Select. The sample challenges. That T plus. Dear Charles is another collaboration. Got a lot of good stuff. Follow me on Instagram. And you'll see it all happen.
For sure. And we'll have all that in the description, y'all. The link will be in the description. Make sure you check out, obviously see the tag on the video to be there. Make sure you follow. Support my man, your boy PAX. He's a dope dude, amazing person, good guy. Really love this guy's work, and I love his
Amazing
attitude.
person.
He's a good man. All right, play some music for us, baby.
All right. This is a sample challenge. I made it today. I couldn't help myself. I know I probably shouldn't play it.
Dope, man. We appreciate that little quick snippet. Thank you for spending time with us, man. Hey, much love to you, bro. Stay safe.
Yeah, man.
Be
Appreciate
healthy.
it. Really
And
appreciate it.
for sure, man. We appreciate your time, man. We look forward to the new project. So, and hey, we got to get that collab one day soon.
Yo, I'm